Okay, guys, I'm going to go ahead and take a look at number 13 on the mole day one homework because whenever I pulled the statistics, this was one that a couple of people had missed. Number 13 says, how many atoms of arsenic are present in 19.0 grams of a purely arsenic sample? And so step one is to always write down what we're given in the problem. And what we're given in this problem is that we are starting with 19.0 grams of arsenic. And then it asks us how many atoms of arsenic are present. And so I'm going to go ahead over here and write the word atoms of arsenic because I understand that those are the units that I'm trying to get to. And now we're going to go ahead and draw our T-chart. So when you're thinking about these problems, you're thinking, how can I get from grams of arsenic to atoms of arsenic? And to this point, we have nothing that takes us directly from grams to atoms. Okay, we haven't talked about that at all. But what we do have is where we can go from grams to moles and think, how do I do that? Well, I'm going to use the molar mass, which is what we talked about yesterday. And then I can go from moles to atoms using, again, something that we talked about yesterday, Avogadro's number. That's 6.02 times 10 to the 23rd. See if that helps a little bit there. Okay. So first thing we're going to do are drop those units down. We know to get rid of grams of arsenic, we have to drop down grams of arsenic. So I'm going to go ahead and write that right there. And think about this step right here. How can I figure out how many grams of arsenic are in 1 mole? Well, that's where we're going to take our periodic table and think about what we talked about yesterday. We said that if we find arsenic right here, that 1 mole of arsenic weighs 74.922 grams. So 1 mole represents 74.922 grams of arsenic. And in this situation, my grams of arsenic now cancel out. I'm going to scoot this over just a little bit. Okay, so now I'm at moles, which is right here kind of on my road map. Next thing I'm going to do is drop moles down. Well, think about what we talked about yesterday. 1 mole of any substance represents 6.022 times 10 to the 23rd. Therefore, moles are going to cancel out, and I'm left with atoms of arsenic, which is what I want. When I go to put this in my calculator, show you how I would put it in. I put everything in parentheses. So think about 19 times, here's that parentheses, 6.022 times 10 to the 23rd, close parentheses. I'm going to hit equals, and then I'm going to divide that by 74.922. That bottom molar mass is going to give me, if I write out the entire answer, 1.527 times 10 to the 23rd atoms. However, look back at what's originally given to you, and we see there 19.0 has 3 significant figures, which means we want 3 sig figs down here. So I'm going to change that to 1.53 times 10 to the 23rd atoms of arsenic. And this is a situation where you cannot memorize if it's 1 step, if it's 2 step. You've got to know how to set it up in order to be successful with these problems.